because I am going to tell y'all a story, or sing y'all a story. Are you ready?
Yeah.
I was driving down a lonely road on a cold and stormy night, when a little girl by the roadside shone up in my headlight.
Get in your
I
lane.
stopped and she got in the back, and in a shaky tone she said, "My name is Mary, please won't you take me home?" She must have been so frightened all alone there in the night. There was something strange about her. Her
Starfish.
face was deathly white. I drove into the what?
Over this way.
The driveway where she told me to go. Got out to help her from the car,
Here's the chocolate.
to open up the door. I just could not believe my eyes, but the back seat was bad. I looked all around the car, but Mary wasn't there. A light was shining from the porch. Someone opened up the door. I asked about the little girl, there's a window open, that I've been searching for. There's a window open.
It's AJ's.
Smiled as she gently wiped the tear away, and said, "It was nice of you to go out of your way." 13 years ago today, in a wreck just down the road, our darling Mary lost her life, and we sure miss her so. Thank you for your kindness and all the trouble you had shown. For you are the 13th woman here, bringing Mary home. Now, Zelda, what do you think that song was about? Huh? What was that song about I just sung?
I don't think they was even paying attention.
I was driving down a lonely road on a cold and stormy night, when a little girl by the roadside shone up in my headlights. So what'd he do? He stopped and let her in the car, didn't he? And he took her where she told him to go, right? He took her home. That was a little ghost girl. And 13 times every year on her birthday, a stranger brings her home from the same spot where she was killed at. She had been hit by a car, and it was her birthday. Tell it again. This man was driving down the road, okay, just like what we're doing right now, when he seen this little girl standing by the side of the road. So he picks that little girl up because she was so cold. She looked so, she was scared. She was deathly white. And he took her where she told him to go, which was home. Her name was Mary. A long time ago, Sissy, when I was a little girl like you are, we was on our way to McDowell County. From here to McDowell County. Because we had gotten us a place in McDowell County. Well, anyway, it was middle of the night when we was on our way because we got held up. Somehow we got held up. I don't remember how. But my daddy was driving across this mountain. And all of a sudden, he hits his brakes right before we hit the guardrail on top of this mountain. If we had went over a hill, we'd been dead. And Mom asked him, said, Jim, what happened? Did you fall asleep? Daddy said, I must have, because I seen a little soldier boy. And that was a little soldier boy. Cross in front of him, that's what made him hit them brakes. If that little soldier boy hadn't have walked in front of Daddy that night, we'd all been dead right now. Daddy would have went over the mountain. And that was a little ghost boy. Daddy will tell, or Papa will tell you that story. He'll swear to it. That soldier boy saved our lives that night. Or we'd been dead.
Was he a friendly ghost?
If he hadn't hit his brakes to keep from hitting that little soldier boy. Ask Papa about it. He'll tell you.
Was he a nice?
Things happen in this world.
Yes, sir.
There was this truck driver. Drove a big truck like Eddie does. And he always traveled with his dog. He had a German Shepherd dog that rode in the seat up front with him. He slid on ice and went over the mountain in his big old 18-wheeler. And he was pinned. He got thrown out somehow, and he was pinned under that big truck. And his dog, when he woke up, after he was unconscious, when he woke up, he looked up, and there was his dog, licking him in the face. And he told his dog, he said, go get help, go get help. Joe was the name of his dog. Run, Joe, run, get help. That's what he'd say. That dog ran all the way up that mountain, all the way up to the road. And every time a car would go by, the dog would try to get it to stop. It'd run out in front of it and everything. Finally, a man stopped for that dog and followed that dog. It went back over the hill, and if it hadn't been for that dog, that man would have died. That truck driver that owned the dog. Because that man followed him, that he went up and, motioned for him to follow him. Followed him over the hill, and he was able to get help for that truck driver. Well, anyway, listen to this. Come to find out, that dog had gotten killed in the crash. It couldn't have. It went up to get help. That dog was a ghost dog. Somehow the spirit of that dog got that man help. Its owner. Its master.
What that said? Hey.
I love ghost stories, don't y'all? Do y'all know any?
Someone said, hey.
But it did. Come to find out, that dog had gotten killed in that truck wreck. It was pinned way up under the truck. It would have been impossible for that dog to have ran up to the road and got help. But somehow, the man that was going by in that car seen a German Shepherd dog, and it motioned for him to follow him. Wouldn't quit barking until he followed him over the mountain, and that man saved that truck driver. The spirit of the dog that saved its master. because the dog is dead.
I don't like to see animals as like pets and masters. I like to see them as another part of the family because they're nice enough to be there for us when we need them for comfort, and we take care of them. I don't like to see it as that. I like to see them as another member of the family. Like all my cats, they're my fur babies. They're not my pets, they're my fur babies, and I'll tell that to anyone.
You sound like my cousin Mary. She's had Petey, I think his name's Petey, forever.
They may be animals, but they're more than just pets.
Yeah, I
They're
always
lifelong
considered,
friends and family.
I considered Sally as part of the family. I always did. I thought the world of that dog.
They're living
Had that
beings,
dog
just
for
as
14
us. They may
years.
not be humans, but they're still living beings. Everybody else may see them as lesser things and just call them pets and say that they're the master, but no. They're just like anyone else.
Go
A
ahead.
comforting friend, or they're not just there to serve or just to be